welcome to today's live. If you missed me and you want to catch me next time, there is a link in the description down below with my schedule. I am probably going to be live next week, which is, I don't know, it's the following week. I don't think that's up on the website, but I think I am going to just do an impromptu live. And then I should also be live the following week. But if you're never sure, check out that calendar and it will show you what is up. So please subscribe if you are new here. Welcome. We do Tuesday night lives. This month is a little wonky just because of the holidays, which is why I made that calendar. And then this week's video is going to be all about clairsentience. So this Friday, look out for my clairsentience video. This light is driving me nuts. Hang on. Yeah, there we go. Hello, Erica. Hey, Pinky. I'm doing awesome. I'm going to attempt to go live on TikTok at the same time. This might be a bad idea, but I'm going to try. And worst case scenario, I'll just get off TikTok because you guys are more important. Alrighty. So I don't know how I would set a timer. So I'm going to set my timer. And so this is for our members. So whenever this timer goes off, and a member comments closest to it, that person will get a free reading from me. So timer is set. Outline for tonight, we're just talking about the rest of December. So I've kind of done a group reading for everybody. The reason why I do kind of group readings at the beginning is I want there to just be some rewatch value, especially if you did not catch me live. And then we're going to jump into individual readings for everyone. And when we get to the individual readings, you can send a donation and get to the top of the list, or you can just play in the guessing game that I do. Hey, everyone. I feel like there's a lot of new names tonight. Welcome, everybody. And some familiar faces, obviously. Awesome. Okay, so December readings. What was I going to say? Sorry, let me get my head around what I'm doing. Let's see. I was pulling all these cards and thinking about them all. So, I did have a question for you all really quick, and you can even leave this in the comment if you're watching replay. But I wanted to know if these live nights, if you would find it fun or just helpful if like every night I talked about like a topic or a subject, even if it's just something small. There's somebody that I follow that kind of does like her YouTube nights, and she does like Q&A and readings, but then she also like talks about a specific topic every time. So there's like a little bit of rewatch value. So let me know. Or you guys can just be honest and be like, nope, I like just doing readings and hanging out. I sort of do that a little bit anyway, but I thought I'd chat about it. Because I will say, next week, I'm going to be probably going live to practice some tarot card readings, like actual tarot. And then the following week, which is, I think the week of Christmas, we're going to be doing kind of our last live of the year, and we're going to be doing a bunch of intention setting. So bring your goals for the new year, intention setting stuff, because we're going to do that 2 weeks from tonight. And I'm really excited about that. I'll kind of talk about the numerology of next year, maybe doing a little bit of predictions for next year. I am going to have a pick a card reading that will go up for the new year, but that'll be like more specific to you guys. So yes, that's kind of the upcoming plan. I'm going to play around with a little bit of tarot tonight because I'm trying to learn and trying to get a little bit better at it. I've actually done like a 5-week course and completed it, and I'm feeling a little bit better about my knowledge around it. So let's start with the message for everybody. Oh, wait. I already said at the beginning, I'm going to try to simultaneously go live on TikTok. If it doesn't work, we're not going to worry about it, but we're going to try. I don't know. I don't even have a plan. I just decided to do this tonight. So we'll see. I have no plan. Okay. Anyway, just for clarification, are the YouTube lives continuing next year? Yes, they are. I just haven't sat down to like add new dates to that calendar. So they're going to go up. And welcome, Johnny. Welcome back. Please do talk about different topics during YouTube lives. Heck yes. Okay. I don't have one for today, but I'll definitely have one 2 weeks from now when we talk about the new year and predicting kind of the new year. Maybe moon cycles. Yes. So I got the Moonology diary, and I'm going to be religiously following it next year. And so I thought, oh, well, I'm going to have it anyway. We can talk about things as they come up. So right now, quiz, can you guys look outside to see what moon it is? Tell me if it's a waxing or a waning moon tonight. Let me know. And if you saw my little like Instagram, TikTok thing, I taught you guys how to, no, I'm on the wrong one. Am I on the wrong one? Shoot. No, I'm on the right one. Okay, sorry. I'm on TikTok too, and I was worried I was in the wrong account. I was worried I was streaming in my husband's account. I was like, no. Okay. Anyway, no, he couldn't even do that. Okay, never mind. Sorry guys, I'm catching up on your comments. Let's see. So yes, YouTube lives are continuing next year, and I was talking about the moon. If you guys can guess the moon phases, I'll teach you that tonight. How about that? We're going to jump into individual readings in a second. I'm going to do the group reading here in a moment. Hello, Lucinda. Hey, Lori. Waxing, waxing, waxing. You guys all got it right. Waxing. Good job, everyone. Can you guys actually all see? Good job, Yurika. Waxing crescent. So an easy way that you can tell, and I don't know if I'm backwards on your screen, but basically what you do is you put your hands up in front of you in the sky. I think of it as the 303 symbol because I'm in Colorado and there's a band that did this when I was a teenager. And what you want to do is you always want to start with your right hand. So this is a full moon, obviously. And then you want to drop your drop your left hand so your right hand is up. I might be just confusing you guys, but you can put your right hand up in front of you. And the right is waxing. So if the moon fits in the curve of your right hand, then it's waxing. It means it's getting bigger. And then the moon will get bigger, bigger, bigger. And then you'll have, you'll have a new moon. And then, full moon. Gosh, I'm doing a bad job of teaching tonight. You'll have the full moon. Sorry. So right hand goes to a full moon, goes to your left hand. And the left hand is waning, so it means it's getting smaller and smaller. I do not know how TikTok works. If anyone's watching me on TikTok, I'm also live on YouTube. And you can jump on there and hopefully I will be a little bit better. So yeah, that's kind of like a fun little thing. So then you don't have to wait like several nights to figure out if that moon crescent is getting smaller or larger. All you have to do is see which side it fits in. So all you have to do is memorize that right means waxing and left means waning. And when it's waxing, when it's getting bigger, that basically means you're welcoming in new energy. And then waning means you're letting go of certain energy. So let's get into the group reading for tonight. This is for everyone that is watching. And I pulled tarot, and I'm so excited about it. Okay, so I did this 3-card spread that I asked, or I didn't ask. My teacher that I took the course through gave me this. So the first card that we're pulling is kind of like the full energy for December. And this is the Judgment card. And this is basically saying that a lot of things are going to be new for us in December. A lot of things are being reawakened. Because what's cool about this card, and this is probably like one of my favorites that I learned, is that so these people are actually in their coffins. They're dead. And that's kind of like why they're all grayed out. And they're like sleeping, they're dead. And this angel being comes and is like wakening them. This angel's like waking them up, kind of jiving their energy, kind of giving them a second chance. So the Judgment card is sort of about that. It's basically saying, hey, you have another chance. We're reawakening something. We are bringing in new energy or maybe familiar energy. So the Judgment card for December is basically saying we're all bringing in some sort of energy that is allowing us to approach something again. So maybe this is like an old project, maybe it's something that just fell through, but something old, it could be a relationship, is definitely coming in and is having like a second chance. That's kind of what this card is. And I will say with tarot, everybody reads these cards differently, and I used to beat myself up so much for it, but I if it doesn't resonate with your idea of the card, that doesn't mean it's wrong. Hang on, everybody. Hi, everyone on TikTok. I apologize. I am also live on YouTube, so if you jump on YouTube, I might be able to see you a little bit better. This is like my second time going live on TikTok, and I'm not quite sure how it works because I don't see any chats. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. All right. Okay, so how this is appearing, kind of how this is going to manifest for the rest of December, is the Three of Pentacles. So this is very much like a collaboration card. This is kind of like there's these people that are, you know, maybe building this building together. There's a carpenter, a monk, and like a blueprint person, the architect. And so these three people are coming together to create something. So maybe for us for December, what's happening, I'm going to teach you guys tarot while I say it because I'm also learning tarot. What is that? Sorry, I'm so confused on TikTok. You guys aren't sending me like gifts, are you? Because if you are, I have no idea what to do with them. Okay. And so this is all about basically cooperation with other people and energy that's coming in that's basically saying, hey, there's some new opportunities to work with other people coming up. And the third card for this spread basically asks, okay, how can I handle this? How can I, you know, use this energy to the best of my abilities? And I got the Page of Swords. And the Page of Swords is all about just being open to fresh new ideas, especially when it comes to just like mental analytical stuff. So whenever you're thinking about, because this was in Pentacles, like I feel like this might be about like money, material things, like finances, like trying to figure out how you can navigate those. And how you can navigate this better is just by being very analytical, very mental about it. Whereas the opposite might be like you're very in your intuition, or you're just kind of going with your gut. This Page of Swords is definitely more about, it's kind of like the pros and the cons. It's really sitting down and like weighing out all of your options. So that's the tarot, but I'm going to pull a few oracle cards as well for anything else we need to know for December. And then we'll jump into individual readings. All right. Hi, Yurika. Hi, Lori. Thank you, Kendra. When I'm done, I will get to you first. Hang tight. Ooh. All right. So I got a fiery climax approaches. Ooh, and a personal issue reaches a resolution. Full moon in Aries. To me, I feel like the end of this year is going to kind of, I feel like we're still going like full throttle, and the energy is very much like go, 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 go. And the fiery climax, I think, is going to be this culmination of like all these things that we're trying to kind of like make happen before the end of the year, that we're putting a lot of our mental energy into, especially around like physical stuff. I really feel like, excuse me, it's almost like we're pushing hard to make it happen. Maybe for some of us, that's like finances. We're trying to push finances or projects to come through to pay us by the new year. And I think for some of us, it's going to be burnout. And I think for others, it might just like happen. You know, we might manifest it, create whatever it is that we're trying to create, and then we'll really see the payoff of that. As long as we're remembering to kind of be analytical about it and be very like thought oriented and, you know, should I be doing this? Again, pros and cons kind of energy. Because I think that a lot of us are going to reach that personal resolution when it comes to this. I feel like the end of the year vibes, honestly, I'm kind of feeling like the energy of this year this month is very much like, I feel like it's already 2022, if that makes sense. It feels like the energy of this month is sort of crossing over into, like, I feel like it's an added month. I feel like this is like the prep month for the next month. I don't know if I'm making any sense, but the energy is sort of like, all right, I just feel like the intentions that everyone are setting, they're like, I'm just going to set them now, if that makes sense. Thank you, Johnny. Thank you, Julie. I'm going to have to play some catch up. Almost done with this reading. Okay. So the last bit of information for December, slow and steady. Hey guys, sorry, if you are on TikTok, I am also live on YouTube. I'm trying to balance both. I don't know if I'm going to do it very well, but I am giving individual readings away on YouTube. Slow and steady. Because I feel like our energy, I feel like we're trying to like crazy manifest something before the new year, and we're trying to put in all this energy into it, and I'm worried we're going to burn ourselves out. Because this fiery climax, again, it could just be like total burnout, or we can kind of go with the flow, take care of ourselves at the same time, go slow and steady. And I think no matter what, we're still going to manifest whatever it is we're looking for. You know, obviously this is a general reading, so it might not be the same for everybody, but this personal issue reaches a resolution. I think there's going to be a resolution. It's more of like, are you burnt out and annoyed at how you kind of handle it, or are you are you not burnt out and kind of enjoying the fact that you are able to enjoy the rest of your year? I hope that makes sense. Oh, hey, who's watching me? I can see your guys' like bubbles on TikTok. I see Jeremy. Hey, Jeremy. Trying to balance TikTok and YouTube at the same time. If you don't have a Venmo account, you can just use the super chat on YouTube. It's like the little $sign kind of by the chat. I'm reading the Oracle cards late, but those are some good cards. I know. I want to actually pull one more for December. I feel like I should have done a pick a card reading, but I also am slow with tarot. The Wheel of Fortune. But I'm trying to challenge myself. Hey, Jeremy. The Wheel of Fortune. Ooh, I love this. So this is really about kind of coming full circle. I've got my notes here from my class. And the Wheel of Fortune is basically saying we have a lot of options for us. And I feel like this is our energy kind of going into the new year. I feel like a lot of us are excited. We're like, okay, I'm going to make all these things happen. I'm super stoked about it. And because we have so many options, we kind of need to choose one. There's this energy of we need to put some research behind it. That's probably that mental energy that's coming through. And then even, bringing in other people to help you. The Three of Pentacles is also like a sign of just harmony between people around you. And because of that, I feel like the message here is like you have a lot of options, but they're still options. They're still in that option zone. You should do some research before you kind of really jump into, okay, what am I going to go forward with? But don't worry. Like Spirit to me is saying right now, like you have time. We don't have to cram in all of your New Year's intentions into December. Like there will be time. And I think in the next couple weeks when we do more December live readings, I will also chat about how we can manifest with the new moon. So, alrighty. Thank you, Eureka. I love the Wheel of Fortune. Awesome. How do you interpret the Wheel of Fortune, Alley Cat? That was the thing that I've learned from my tarot classes is that everyone has a different interpretation, and that's okay. It's just a matter of like, how do you resonate with it, if that makes sense? All right. Let's get into individual readings. All right. So I'm on YouTube and some people have donated over here. So I'm going to start there. So I'm going to start with Kendra, and Kendra asked, what are Ryan's feelings towards me? And I also feel like I developed a new way of shuffling. Ugh. But all my cards are too hard and unshuffled for me to actually do it the way I want to do it. Okay. I'm going to start with a card, Kendra. Okay, so one thing that I am going to try to be a little bit better about is not necessarily reading into other people's energies. I've kind of gotten a little bad about that because I feel like YouTube has encouraged it. And hang on. But yeah, YouTube has encouraged the kind of getting into other people's territory. But what I'm going to do instead is when people ask me these questions is basically say, how can we basically ask the same question but just talk to our guides instead of getting into Ryan's feelings? Just ask, hey, what do we need to know about Ryan's opinions towards Kendra? I'm not actually trying to tune into his energy. But what I did get encouragement in reverse and balancing act. And so to me, Kendra, I feel like this card was specifically for me. And it was kind of like, hey, don't get into it, or don't encourage her too much to pursue it, because maybe he doesn't have exactly the same feelings back towards you. Especially with this balancing act card, I kind of feel like this card to me is sort of coming across as like some days he's interested, some days maybe not so much. And I don't want to disappoint you, but at the same time, I say what I get. And I think the energy here is like, I'm picking up on your energy, and you're definitely like, oh, I want to be in a relationship with him. But I think, unfortunately, it would be a one-sided thing. Because right now, I got the One Ring Circus, and this card is all about, like, basically, you're in it alone is kind of what this is saying. I'm going to ask just one question really quick of how you could. I asked basically how you could manifest this relationship, and I got the You Are Good Enough card. And to me, that says like there's something about this relationship, you wanting this relationship, that is probably making you feel like you need it to be complete in some sort of way. Or maybe not complete as much as like there's some pining towards this other person, and it's sort of making you feel like if you don't have it, then you're not good enough, or you're less than, or something. Or, maybe you're comparing yourself to people around you, or maybe you're just not comfortable with yourself by yourself alone. But I would really explore this of how can I step into the energy of feeling like I am good enough. And then, maybe from there it is still like a possibility. But I think the focusing on yourself has to come first is kind of like what I'm getting, because they're definitely getting like, they're giving me this vibe of not to encourage it because it might bum you out. I could be wrong, but that's what I'm getting. Makes sense. That definitely resonated. All right. Okay. I am reading Kendra again. She sent another donation. Ooh, I deal with a mean manager at work. How should I handle her in this situation? You know what? They're telling me to pull a tarot card. Okay, let's do it. I'm going to shuffle my fancy way. I was also wondering, because I do think I'm going to teach tarot eventually, because it was way easier than I thought it was going to be. And I know some of you expressed interest in learning tarot from me. And I was wondering if you would have more interest in doing like a live sort of like webinar, or if you would like a pre-recorded like video course, like my normal video courses. Let me know. Mean manager at work. How should we deal with her? Ooh, I just pulled the High Priestess. So like I partly feel like this energy is her, I'm reading the traditional tarot because that is what our teacher forced us to learn. We could not use any other variation. So these are the original tarot cards, which is kind of cool. The High Priestess is somebody who uses her intuition. It's very much like intuitive, spirit, dreams. It's tapping into that unconscious. So to me, in relation to your question, this is very much like, how do we handle her? By tapping into your intuition. And I'm kind of getting like at every moment, honestly, because I feel like she's just constantly changing. Oh my goodness, sorry. We just pulled the Tower. Those are two major Arcana cards. And let me finish what I was saying with the High Priestess. But I feel like it's going to be something that you have to use your intuition at every moment, because she's not static. Like you can't predict her patterns, which is not good, because, somebody should be semi-predictable. But I feel like she just sort of makes decisions on a whim, or she like lets her emotions decide where she's at that day, which can be extremely difficult. And you're like, I don't know where you're at, and I'm constantly doing this dance around you. And so I think the High Priestess is basically saying, use your intuition, use that deep knowing of like how to handle it. Like, and I'm hearing like sometimes you're going to have to like stand up to her. Sometimes you're going to have to like call her out a little bit, but then sometimes you're just going to have to be like, all right, she's being this way. I'm not going to let it affect my day. And the fact that I pulled the Tower card for you also, to me, this is saying like, there's a realization going on with you of like, all right, this is not working. And that's what the Tower reflects, is like this lightning is hitting the Tower and everyone's falling out and it's like falling apart. And this is kind of how you view her and this job. It's just like everything's falling apart. And the great thing about this is like a new foundation has to be built. A new tower has to be built. And so although things are kind of crumbling and not working around you right now, how can we sort of get into the mindset of like, all right, I can make this better. Right now, I think you're just so focused on everything that's going wrong that it needs to be kind of more of a shift into how can I rebuild a relationship with her? And honestly, this could even be, how do I rebuild my job that's maybe not sticking here? I mean, that's honestly where I'm leaning towards more, but I know not everyone can just leave their jobs. It's not always easy, not everyone has that luxury. And to me, though, this is basically saying that things are falling apart and they need to be like picked up and put back correctly. So whether that's you leaving or staying, how can we get into this mindset of you doing that? Thank you, Seascape. I'll get to your donation here in a second. All right, Johnny asked for a general reading. I want to use Moonology for Johnny. Where's my husband? Gosh, maybe I won't get on TikTok again. There's a lot more trolls on TikTok, that's for sure. Reminds me of my days on Periscope. Let's see. Johnny, I pulled, again, a fiery climax approaches, and the answers you need are coming. So I'm going to ask. They're trying to give you advice about something very specific. Law of attraction. Okay, that was like a bam download. So Johnny, I think you've been very stuck kind of in your mentality around, I don't know, I feel like it could be specifically about like money, but it feels more like about life, where you just feel like you're putting things out there and you're trying to make things work and you're trying to control the outcome, and things are just not exactly making you happy, or they're not manifesting when you want them to. And I feel like you're kind of just like, universe, like, why are you making this so hard? Like, I'm trying to pay attention to you. Like, can we just make this easier? Like, I'm trying to manifest. Like, I feel like there's just this energy of like, universe, I'm trying. And the universe is just like not making you happy, if that makes sense. Hang on. Sorry, I've got too many comments. Hey guys, sorry, I will play catch up. For those of you on TikTok, I'm also on YouTube Live right now. People are donating over here, so I'm just catching up on their readings. Let's see. So, Johnny, I think the general energy that I'm getting is like a frustration towards the universe because you're trying to manifest things and it's just not working. But I should correct myself. I actually do feel like it's working, but you're just not stepping into abundance or gratitude of like appreciating what is there and what is working. Because the wishing well card is all about like you're putting your intentions and thoughts out into the universe and they're really happy and they're really good. And you're like, heck yes, I'm going to put out all these amazing positive thoughts. And then with this card, it's all about, well, whatever you put into the wishing well is what you're going to get back. What you get is what you wish for. And a lot of us sometimes forget that when we put out worried, anxious, negative thoughts, you know, we get that back in return. And the wishing well card, I feel like the only block to your abundance right now, the things you're trying to manifest, I think is just the fact that you're not appreciating what you do have right now, which I know is so difficult. Like I feel like I get this message for myself all the time. But I feel like you're being like this Aries, you're kind of being very like, I'm going to just go. I'm going to go after all my goals, just ram into them. And I think it's going to kind of lead you into some burnout unless you kind of stop yourself and say, you know what, I'm going to focus on my mentality and not trying to push so hard and not trying to control everything. And then maybe it won't feel as hard, if that makes sense. Thank you for sharing, Nicole. Hey, everyone on TikTok. I am also on YouTube Live right now. All right. Because, Johnny, the answers that you need are coming. This, to me, is saying, like, your guides are giving you the things you want. Like, I'm literally hearing them say, like, it's coming. Like, just give it a minute to cook. And I think you're just impatient and you're not grateful for what you do have. It's like, enjoy where you're at. It's going to come, but it's not ready yet. So you might as well have fun where you're at. Let's see. Any other message for Johnny? I literally just pulled like the manifestor card. This is the magical map shifter. And this is basically saying you are a master manifester. Anything you think of can come into reality, but focus on making it positive. Alrighty. Sorry, guys. I'm so behind on these comments. Yes, arg. I want to move on and get a house and another baby, but I'm just so stagnant. Johnny, that's like exact same thing I want. I want a new house. I want another kid, but it's just like not ready yet. Alrighty. Jumping back up to Julie next. Let's see. Julie, did you have a question? General reading also, please. All right. I always get an exciting feeling and like there are so many wonderful opportunities with the Wheel of Fortune. Awesome. Okay. I would say that's about the same as how I would see the Wheel of Fortune card. All right. General reading for Julie. More Atlas babies. People on TikTok are talking to me. Yeah, but I have to have a little bit more money to have another kid. That's where I'm at right now. All right. Or just like the physical space. You should see how many animals and people we have crammed in our little house. It's impressive. Hey, we'll decide. I am also live on YouTube. If you jump over there and send a donation, I will absolutely get you a reading. Otherwise, we're going to play a guessing game when I've caught up on donations. And then if you get the guessing game correct, then you can get a free reading. And let's see, I've also got my timer still going for our free member reading. All right, so sorry, Julie. Julie's like, get on with it, woman. I want to pull a tarot card for Julie. I got a reading myself today. It's been a while from somebody else. And it was so wonderful. I got a animal communication reading from the woman the first psychic I ever went to, the first animal communicator I ever went to. I go to her all the time. Got a reading from her today. It gave me so much peace of mind. I feel energized to read tonight. All right. So, Julie, I got the Six of Pentacles, and this card is just like my best friend. I pulled this so many times when I was doing my tarot class, and I think it's because it's still like not sticking with me. But the Six of Pentacles is all about like this equal balance of give and take. So it's really asking like, are there areas in your life where you could be giving to other people a little bit more or receiving more? I'm kind of leaning more towards like the receiving side of things. And this could be monetary. This could be like money, practical stuff. Honestly, though, I feel like it's more about you and your self-care, especially because I pulled the Oracle card, take time to breathe out. So to me, I feel like there's this imbalance going on of like you not taking care of yourself, and therefore you're not able to give to others. And I'm specifically getting like in your work, like if you're feeling like way more exhausted with work lately, I just feel like you're not giving yourself what you need. And because of that, it's like you're not able to come to your job fully present. And I just pulled one last card of how you can kind of connect with this a little bit better and handle it. And I got the Moonlight card, and this is basically saying use your intuition. I do want to pull one more. Let me see if there's anything else with that. Use your intuition. And to me, I'm just getting like, use your intuition in these moments of like, okay, I'm feeling a little burned out. I need to not follow through on these plans or purposely like add more space in my calendar so that I'm taking care of myself. Like, I feel like it's more of you have a hard time in the moment stopping and you'll fill it with something else, if that makes sense. Oh, and then I pulled one more for Julie. Yeah, especially because for you, the rest of December is going to be a little bit stressful. Like I was already seeing like that you had a lot planned, especially like with like family and stuff. So definitely take the time to prioritize you, get that equal give and take going on. And the more you do that, the more fun you'll have at all of these events. And the more you actually might get in return because you're basically prioritizing yourself first. So Julie, self-care is on the bill. I don't know what I'm saying. Thank you, Julie. All right, let's catch up. Seascape. I want to leave my current retired job. I want different. Do my guides have any suggestions? Ooh, okay. One of the spreads that I learned from my tarot class is you pull one card that says like what energy should you be avoiding and what energy should you be kind of leaning towards, especially with like an either or kind of decision. And that way, you know, even if it's you have several options in front of you, you still have something to kind of like ground yourself in of like, okay, I'm looking at this option. Is it going to lean towards this, which I should avoid, or is it going to lean towards something more positive? So I'm going to do that for you, if that makes sense. Seascape. Why is my super chat flashing? It's never done that before. That was weird. But then I'll pull Seascape. I'll pull another card for like what type of job also. Okay, this is what we should be avoiding. Oh, look at what we pulled. The Wheel of Fortune. I had a feeling this was going to come up. I was like literally thinking of this card while I was talking. So the Wheel of Fortune card, this is what we want to avoid. And this is having too many options. And what's cool, what I learned about this card was that all of these little dudes are both on the Wheel of Fortune. And then also, I think, is it the World card? No, or yeah. It's on the World card and it comes back. But on the Wheel of Fortune, they're all studying, they're all learning because they have so many options available. And then when you get to the World card, they're actually done studying. They've like made a decision. They've made a choice. And so Seascape, I actually feel like they're trying to say like narrow, you have too many choices right now. So narrow down, like that's your first place to start. Narrow down the things that aren't working. I'm just going to pull a follow-up card of like, okay, what else should we avoid? Like, how can we narrow that down better? Ooh, and I just pulled Temperance. We got some major arcana cards. Core level personal change. Oh, I don't remember this one. Shit. Seascape, maybe look up Temperance. I don't have my whole notes. I took like pages and pages of notes, but she gave us this like quick cheat sheet that has every single card on it, which is super helpful when I'm trying to learn. But I feel like the Temperance card, core level, to me, this is saying like actually to not go so heavily into like making such a drastic change. Now, if what I say like fires you up and you're like, no, I really actually have to do that, like go with it. Take that as being like a wrong reading and, further find where your intuition lies in it. Sometimes I think, honestly, that our guides give us the wrong answer, the no, to help you feel more attached to the yes. Does that make sense what I'm saying? It's almost like I really want to go take a noodle class. I do not know what this means. But I really want to take a noodle class. And but I go and I ask a psychic, should I take a noodle class or should I take a baking class? And then the psychic says, no, you should take the baking class. And then I'm like, oh, but I really wanted to take that noodle class. Actually, I really wanted to take that. And then it's almost like sometimes having somebody else tell you makes you more set in it. I hope that makes sense. But so if what I'm saying doesn't resonate, Seascape, what I'm saying is to use your own intuition. But I actually feel like what this is saying is like you have too many options and don't go down the path of trying to find something that's like really a huge, big change, because I feel like that is a little bit more stressful. What you should be moving towards, this is the 10 of Cups. This is using your intuition and really thinking about what is the end result that I want. Because this is exactly what this card is the end result. And it's like the quintessential like family, and they've got a house and they've got some kids and they're happy under this rainbow. And so this is saying like at the end of the day, what is it that you want your home life to look like? And that's what you need to be grounding more in this decision, is the end goal. And does this new job support what that looks like? So I hope that helps you make a decision. I did say I'd pull, doing a little bit too much on this one, but it's because I'm taking forever with my tarot. So I was asking like which job you should head towards, honestly, and I feel like they're trying to tell me like right now you're just unhappy with where you're at, and it's probably better for you to stay. But again, if that doesn't resonate, use it as fuel to use your intuition to figure out what you do want. Because I pulled Peaks of Joy, and to me, this is just saying like you're in this moment of it just not being happy, and that's okay. But I specifically asked like what career line or like where you should move towards, and I feel like something else would have came up if there was something better that you could be doing. All right. Thank you, Seascape. Live so we can ask questions. That's what I was thinking, Lori. So for the tarot course, I kind of was thinking it would be really fun to do like a webinar, and I could like chat at you guys for like hour, and then the last like 15-30 minutes are basically left open for you to do readings, ask me questions. I kind of wish that I did some more of my other courses that way. I have no idea what my intuition says. You're welcome, Kendra. All right, Alley Cat, General, please. Hey, Jordan. Okay, so we got Allie. Oh, and then Julie asked another question, right? Yeah. Allie, Julie, Jordan. Elena. Sorry, guys. I'm so behind. Oh, my gosh. It's going to be a long night. I need to catch up. Here, I'm going to at least catch up on the chat for a second. Because it makes me anxious, and then I don't read it as well. Trying to get ahead on everything, and I'm just not getting anywhere. Oh, I already read that one. And that's Jordan's question. Oh, I feel you, Johnny. I hope next year is a lot better for all of us. Thank you, Elena. I'll get back to you. I thought of my bunny. Yeah, so I actually did a video with that animal communicator, and it's on my channel. It's kind of like an interview. I have a playlist called like Psychic to Psychic, and I don't think I'm going to do much of those anymore. But I basically interviewed her on all things animal communication. So if you're interested in that, it was a really good conversation that we had. I'm talking about Silly Rabbit's bunny. PM, I will get back to you. Thank you, Erica. I will get back to you as well. Where do I find these options? I haven't figured out the thing that I want to do. Ooh, maybe I would, if you have your own deck of cards or just meditate and ask that question, do a shamanic journey. That's my favorite way of like asking my guides. But definitely it should come from a place of intuition. And again, anchor it in that, like, what does the end goal look like? Like, what does the life that that job supports look like? Temperance is about balance. Ooh. And what did I have here? And see, that's the thing that I learned in this class is everyone looks at them completely different. And you just have to understand what it means to you and go with what you intuitively feel. And then, you know, you might read it completely different than somebody else. But, you know, that card is going to pop up for you because that's what's needed. Whereas if the same person or a different person were using that deck, you know, a different card might pop up for them, if that makes sense. So it's really about your relationship with your deck. And she really, when I learned about this, she really talked about these decks as if they were like alive, which is interesting for me. Wheel of Fortune can also mean that your reality will change. Like if you're poor, you will become rich. Interesting. Yeah, I don't think that resonates with me, but if that resonates with you, that's awesome. I'd love to join in with a webinar. Yeah, we were talking about doing like a tarot course in the future. Obviously, I need to get a lot more practice, but oh, I forgot to say too, if you're following me on Instagram, I do give out quite a few like tarot, like ask a question and I'll pick a card for you. So definitely follow me on Instagram because that's how I'm doing a lot of my practice right now. Can we have like a practice Zoom where we can do like a psychic drawing? Ooh, what do you mean, Jana? Like a automatic drawing? Let me know. I'll try to remember to come back. Okay, so I just got to Seascape, Alley Cat, general reading. I want to pull. I'm gonna just keep going with my tarot. Another thing that I learned from my tarot cast, I know I'm talking about this a lot, but it's fresh on my mind, is that my coach talked a lot about how you really don't need to pull that many cards. And we were talking about pick a card readings in the class, and she was saying that really you can get so much information off of one or two cards. And after being in that class, I totally agree. With the tarot. Oracle cards, much different. Ooh, Julie, Queen of Swords and Death. Are you still taking donations? Yes, Jeremy. And Jeremy, since you know me, you've probably got my Venmo or you can pop onto YouTube. I honestly do not know how TikTok works. So don't worry about like trying to send it through there is what I'm saying. Okay, so Julie, Queen of Swords and Death. Hang on. I'm missing a little bit of the picture. Because usually the court cards are about you. right. Okay. So I'm getting way faster at reading them. I'm proud of myself, you guys. So I pulled the Two of Swords, and this is all about just like mental balance. And so maybe that's like taking care of yourself mentally. I think of it as like kind of like the mental self-care of like, you're taking care of yourself. I'm just repeating myself. What am I trying to say? Queen of Swords. I think what your guys are trying to say is they're trying to reflect what's going on in your life right now. And right now there's a death of something. And this isn't like scary. This is kind of talking about how something in your life has been let go recently, and you're kind of welcoming in new energy. And so the death card to me is actually a great card because it's like, gosh, finally we're getting rid of this old crappy energy. And what I think you've gotten rid of is just not being very balanced mentally. And when I say that, it feels like just feeling all over the place, like not able to handle your own work schedule. Like to me, it feels like a lot of like anxiety of like not knowing how to balance work life, personal life. But I feel like you've been putting in a lot of the work to actually be like, no, I'm going to be on top of this. I'm going to take care of my mental health a little bit better. And because of it, you're ushering in this new energy of like, I can handle this. And you're now this Queen of Swords. You are sitting on this throne of like, no, I do control my mind. I do control this like mental health part of me. And with the Queen of Swords, she is very, this is all about doing the inner work. So the inner work around the mental health is kind of what I'm seeing. And again, I feel like this is like, it covers a lot of areas of your life of like anxiety, worrying, like planning. It's kind of all of those things that we do. And I feel like you kind of built it up a lot. And maybe you're not fully through this process, but you're approaching, kind of saying, I'm going to be better about this. I'm going to be a lot more balanced. I'm going to not let myself get so worked up, and I'm going to take care of my mental health. And although this card looks scary, this is actually about balance. Dismiss. Okay. That was my member only. Alarm, and no member had commented. Technically, the closest one was Yurika, so I'm going to give it to Yurika. It was a long way up. So Yurika was the one who commented closest to my little alarm going off. So Yurika, you'll also get a reading. Let me update you guys on my list because I also have people on TikTok. So it's going to be Julie, Jordan, Elena, PM, Erica. I apologize. These people have been waiting forever. And then Jeremy. And Jeremy, since you are on TikTok, if for some reason you have to get off, this will be recorded and up on my YouTube channel. So if you can't wait around, I apologize. But I'm going to get to it in the order that I received. So thank you, Jeremy. And you can't ask that. Yes. Okay. So let me jump up to Jordan. All right. So yeah, Julie, I think that they're just trying to give you confirmation because I feel like maybe you hadn't looked at it that way. And I feel like they really wanted you to like celebrate the fact that you're on top of this. Like you're letting it go. Like this is confirmation. I hope that resonates. All right. Jordan has a message below. Felt and met this particular spirit or possible deity last week during meditation. Honestly, I feel pretty good about them. Like I'm getting like monk vibes from them is immediately what I saw. And although you might not see him that way, the image that's coming across to me is like trustworthy. Somebody who's going to teach you a lot. Somebody who might actually be slow at teaching you, which is frustrating. Let me pull a few cards on this deity. You meet with so many new deities. I wonder how many there are sometimes. Ooh, a win-win outcome is in forecast. Ooh, and step out of your comfort zone. I think you've been kind of dancing a little bit in kind of the fear because of the past energies you've sort of dealt with. And I feel like you've kind of been a little bit more reserved with your energy, which is good. I think you've been prioritizing protection. Oh, that was weird. On TikTok, people can request to go live with me, and I'm always like, what? How do I do that? Why should I do that? Like, what? I don't. Anyway, I'm just talking to myself at this point. Wanted to ask about your intuition. Yeah. So step out of your comfort zone. Honestly, Jordan, I think you've been in a period of like protecting yourself, which is all great, like very important. But I think this guide is definitely something a little bit better. I mean, trust your intuition with it, obviously, but I'm feeling like, again, monk vibes. I feel like they're going to teach you a lot. And I think you can handle kind of stepping back into this a little bit is sort of the message that I'm getting. And I find it interesting that both of these cards are so pink. And that's specifically sticking out to me. So I'm going to ask, why pink? What does this color mean? And I just heard love. So yeah, I think all good things. Let me just pull one more. Anything else we should know about this deity? I think you're going to really have to connect with them on your own time and really get a lot of like, I don't want to say heavy meditation, but that's like the word that I'm hearing, because I feel like connecting with them quickly and passing is maybe not the way that they like to connect, if that makes sense. Sometimes, I mean, we have guides I have a guide that's like that. That's like, I'm not just going to be here to like help you with your groceries. Like, you come to me in a journey and we'll chat. Do you guys have guys that are like that? Some that are a little bit more like, no, you come to me for the bigger stuff. All right. Elena, thank you. What should I know regarding my new job that I recently started working at? Ooh, I feel like it's very busy energy from this card, but good busy. So this is the Seven of Swords, and to me, this is sort of saying like, I feel like this is a lot of work that you're having to take on. This guy is like, he's like picking up a lot of swords. He's like looking over his shoulder. I feel like you're interacting with a lot of people. I feel like you have a lot of tasks at hand, but this is like a really bright yellow card. This is bright energy, bright colors. Like, you can handle it. I feel like this is maybe saying that you might be overwhelmed a little bit at first because it's a new job and you're just like, oh my gosh, I'm trying to fit in and figure out how everything works. And you might like question if like, oh, should I have done this? Was this a good idea? But I think this is just like that intro period where you're trying to like get a handle on things. I feel like this job is actually going to help you really get a little bit more settled in life. Like, I don't know what kind of job it is, because it feels a little bit like, I'm thinking of Amazon. and I'm thinking of Amazon, I think, because, you know, those jobs are such like quick turnovers and the people there are working for very little. But like, I feel like you have the potential to actually go a lot further with this job. This is a personal issue reaches resolution. And when I read personal issue, I just thought of your finances and your home life, of you being able to like, you know, comfortably like live and eat. Let me ask what kind of energy you might need to bring into this job. Okay. I just pulled the death card again. I shuffled. To me, this is sort of like, look at it with a fresh start. Like, don't worry so much about where you've been in the past. Like, a lot of that information, especially like with your like past job, it might not be relevant. You might be completely in new territory, but the quicker you sort of accept that this is a new phase, a completely new transition, you know, your old life, you know, this last chapter is really closing. I think the less resistance you will see with this job. I just want to pull one more. I feel like with all of these readings, I could just keep going on and on. Confidence is your key to success. To me, this is very much a reading about, they're just trying to like let you know that you did make the right choice and it's going to be okay to not get overwhelmed by it. Have confidence, understand that it's a new chapter and new chapters look different. And sometimes that requires transition. I feel like they're just sort of trying to like, I always say the word wrong, assuade your fears. I need to look up that word. All right, anything else for Elena? I'm pulling way too many cards tonight. Peaks of joy. So this to me is saying like it's definitely going to be a lot of fun, a lot of excitement, but that might not always be the case. You know, like peaks, there are where are my words tonight? There are like downward areas. I don't know. You know what I mean. And those peaks of joy are something that, you know, every job has, and it might be good at first, but like I just get that you're going to constantly question yourself with this new job. And so I think that's why this is coming through, is like there's the questioning, the anxiety, there's the insecurity, but that's different than like, should I leave, you know? And so if you're constantly kind of staying on top of that instead of, you know, giving into those anxieties, I think you'll feel a lot more guided, if that makes sense. Alrighty, thank you, Elena. Okay, so I have PM, Erica, and then Jeremy, and then Jana. Okay. I need to grease my wheel. It's so squeaky, my mouse wheel. Let me just jump down because I missed a ton of comments. Today is a money day for you, Lauryn. Hey, Alley Cat. Did I miss Alley Cat? Shit. Can someone confirm if I missed Alley Cat? Because I can't remember. Here, I'll just jump up to your reading. General reading. Shoot. Did I miss Alley Cat and Julie? Oh my gosh, you guys. I'm so bad at this. This is why I need a moderator. Crap. Did I pull any card for you, Allie? Did I even start? That's what I'm thinking. Those are Alley Cat's cards. Yeah, because I was going to say, I didn't read the Spirit Guide one. I think that's the one I skipped. I apologize. I think I was reading you, Allie, but I was saying Julie's name. I apologize. So that reading was for you. I mean, Julie, if any of it resonates with you, obviously you can take it. Just to make sure I didn't screw anything up. Actually, sorry, hang on. Yeah, that's totally what happened. Sorry, guys. Okay, sorry. So I got to go back up to Julie. Even though I said I was reading Julie, I was actually reading Allie. Oh, you guys. It's because this little chat bar is so tiny and it's so easy to jump around and totally skip things. Yeah, I think Allie 100%. I was reading you, but then saying Julie's name. Damn, I didn't pay attention because you said Julie. Here. I'm sorry. Here, 1 second. Let me do... Because, I mean, I'm asking my guides, and they're saying, no, that was right. Like, I was still connecting to this, to one person. Yeah, because it was about the self-care, right? Because this is, like, bring love into the situation, which is also... like Virgo energy, which is like the maiden. I think you are right, Allie. I'm sorry. You'll just have to re-listen to that. I apologize. And so Julie didn't get a reading technically. All right, let's jump up to Julie really quick. I'm all over the place, you guys. I think I've had so many live nights with so few people that I'm just like, I'm not used to it yet. be able to tell, because if Julie's reading is completely different, then you'll know. Which I think it is. Okay. I was like, I'm not going to pull too many tarot cards tonight, and then I end up like only using 2. Ooh, all good stuff, Julie. Okay, so Julie, actual Julie, not Alley Cat. I apologize. I do remember the death card, and that resonates. Okay, cool. Sorry, guys, for all of you who are just sitting around watching me screw everything up. I am catching up on these donated readings. I will eventually. Okay, so Julie, the first card that I pulled for you is the 10 of Cups, and I feel like what your guides want you to know is kind of around like your home life. This is like your love, your heart, your home, your center. And this is kind of, again, I think I pulled this for somebody else. This is like that quintessential like life that you're trying to go after. You know, you have this, and hell, you know what, Allie, if any of this resonates with you as well, take it, because this might have happened for a reason. You know what I mean? There might have been some intermixing going on. But this is sort of saying this is what they want to talk about. I feel like you're trying to sort of manifest this end goal. You know, you're working really hard. You're trying to create this life that you love. And this is saying that you're doing it, like you're on the right path. The King of Cups, he's the king of intuition. He's the highest card that you can get out of the cups. And the cups is like heart, intuition. And the king basically is really good at coming up with fresh new ideas. He's really good at like taking those ideas internally of like how he wants, you know, this life to look like, and, you know, thinking them through and then actually putting them into action and manifesting them. So he's really good at just bringing this whole thing full circle. And with the 10 of Cups, this is saying like you're on your way to manifesting this life that you want. Like, you got only good cards here. A win-win outcome is in forecast. I feel like if anything, maybe you're doubting a little bit of like, oh, why is this taking so long? Should I be doing this? And this is very much saying like, no, this is what you're supposed to be doing. I also pulled the World card, and the World card, this one is about coming full circle. I'm reading my notes. And ready for a move into a new phase. Like, to me, this is saying you are manifesting it. And this next, I feel like I'm hearing like next 3 months are going to be very heavy in this of like, okay, this is the life that you want. How can we manifest this? Like, what actions are going to come up? What things are going to come up that you're going to be asked? Okay, are you serious about this? Do you really want this? Awesome. Okay, let's start putting it into motion. Because the World card is basically saying that you're coming, again, I mean, it's almost similar to the 10 of Cups in that there's this like full circle energy of you have everything you need. You're at the end of this chapter and you're ready to start this new one. And not saying like starting this new chapter means you have to start over from scratch on trying to manifest this, but it's like you're ready for the next step. You don't need anything else. Remember how I was talking about those little guys in the corner, how they were all studying? It's like they're good now. They don't need to study. They've got everything they need. And so whatever you're trying to go after right now, Julie, this is basically confirmation that is coming your way. Like, you've got it down. There's nothing else you need to worry about. It might take time, obviously, and it might come in a different way than you expect. But surrender to the divine, because they've got it at this point. Like, I feel like they're like, you've done the work. It's in our hands now, and we're going to help you manifest this. Gosh, I need this reading for myself. That's awesome. I'm curious, Allie, if that resonates with you at all, just because I got you all messed up. I apologize. God, and thank you for calling me out, or else I would have just kept going. Sorry, PM. Back to PM. We could try to skip anyone else. Okay, so we have PM, Erica, Jerry. and Jana. Okay. You're going to Mazatlan, Mexico next week. A bit worried since it's my first time going with my sisters. Will we be safe there? I'm just kind of tuning into it, and the first thing that I'm seeing is like a lot of crowds. Lots of crowds. I'm definitely not getting like any safety issues as far as like people or like, you know, any of those kind of fears of like, oh, are we gonna get mugged or something stolen? Like your guides are bringing up more your anxiety around it, and like if you feel like you need to get out of a situation, just get out of it. Like, you know, take the cab back to the hotel or something. Like don't let your anxiety ruin your trip. Like that's more important, because I feel like their anxiety radar is not going to go off as soon as yours is. And I feel like if you stick around and force yourself to be in those situations, like I'm just seeing you like out at a bar feeling like uncomfortable, then it's almost like you're just gonna ruin it. You're gonna think back at this like trip as just like, oh my gosh, it was awful because I was just anxious the whole time. Like definitely vibes of like getting away from people, taking time for yourself. You know, it's your vacation too. You don't have to spend it with your sisters 24/7. Ooh, a time for healing is what I pulled. I'm definitely feeling like that's the message of like take time for yourself, like go walk down to the beach. I don't know, is Mazatlan close to the beach? I'm just assuming. But this is like take that personal time. You know, you're there with family, but I do think we take trips, honestly, at certain points in our life to come to realizations, and they can be really healing if we look at them in that way. And so even if it's that you're in your hotel room, take the time for yourself, even if it's like taking a bath. Because I feel like if you're around them and doing what they want the whole time, you're just going to look back and be like, oh my gosh, this is so annoying. Because I also got adjustments are required. To me, this is just huge, like get some time away from them. When you do feel like that anxiety creeping in, adjust. You don't have to be with them the whole time. I'm not getting that you won't be safe at all. It's more just like get away when you need it, I think is more important. Otherwise, I think you're going to get so anxious that you're not enjoying yourself, and then you'll like explode at everyone around you. Let me pull one more card. Anything else PM needs to know? Magic prayer. So you can set an intention around your trip. You can say, hey, I'm traveling soon. I want to set the intention of what this trip is going to be for me. This could be a trip of healing. This could be a trip of connecting to my sisters. You know, this could be a trip of connecting to the area and the people and the land. And sometimes I think when we don't go in with those intentions, we get disappointed. So maybe ahead of time, really think about what it is that you want this trip to be for you. And then when you're there, actually make time to actually get it, if that makes sense. All right. I apologize. I'm not going to do a live together just because I'm also live on YouTube. Nothing personal. I just don't want to get too distracted with too many platforms going on. All right. Okay. Erica and then Jeremy. Hi, Lauren. I've been soul searching in regards to a job change. I've been in the feminine slow energy a lot, but it feels like it's time for some action. Woohoo! All right, so $10. I'm going to do this spread that I loved when I took this course. What was it? Okay, I think I remember it. Interesting. Okay. I'm just sort of seeing, I feel like these cards are showing you in this position, like this is you right now, and this is the Two of Wands, and you're very excited about like this new job, this new change, because it's like this king and he's holding the globe. It's like he's got all these options. The world is his oyster, and he's looking out at his land, and it's very stable. You know, he's got these swords around him to kind of provide support, and he's like, wow, look at all the opportunities that I have. Look at what I can manifest, is kind of the energy of this card. And I feel like that's where you're at right now. And the fact that I got another Wands card, like this to me is saying, like, this is definitely a call to find like something you're passionate about. And there's multiple things we can be passionate about, not just one. And this next card is really showing you, like, I feel like this is like you directing other people. Like this guy is on his horse and he's got a bunch of people following him. So I definitely feel like this job is something where you are kind of in a position where you are looked up to, and there are people around you kind of like following you in a sense. I feel like you're in the vision planning stage of it right now, and you're moving. This is kind of like what you're seeing of like what could happen. You're seeing that you could be this leader. You could kind of incite all these ideas and exciting things and show people, hey, this could be the way. And then it's almost like, I love this card. This is the Three of Cups. And this is saying you'll have an ability to bring people together. So all of these women are like, they've got their cups and they're like cheersing. And they're, how would I describe this card? This is like a harmony between everyone. And there's like all this like not produce, but like harvest around them. Like everything is awesome. Like I feel like it's might be a job where you help other people realize their potential, or you just help them get there, because these people are people that you're going to help and everyone's going to feel benefited by it. Like I feel like you are one of these. And it's almost like you equally benefit from helping these other people. So this is kind of like what it looks like. It's very much like based off of what you're excited about, what you're passionate about, and then you lead others and you help other people. And I love that. I'm just going to jump down and make sure I'm not missing any comments. Okay. Hopefully Erica's still with us. Sorry it took me so long, guys. And I agree with you that it does feel very fast moving, because I feel like you're going to have to create something like a process where people can come to you, find help, and then implement that help themselves. Like I keep seeing online stuff, and I mean, I don't think that that's for everybody. Ooh, have faith in your dreams. I don't think I've ever pulled this card out of my deck. This is really just confirmation, though, that like the thing that you feel is crazy, the thing that you feel is like out there and you're just like, oh, how could I ever make money? Go for it. It's going to be what happens. Ooh, a new romantic cycle begins. I'm actually feeling like this isn't like a relationship necessarily. I mean, it could be, but to me, what's coming in is like more of a romanticized version of your life. Like they're encouraging you to look at this. Like, what if? Like, that's what they're like saying to me. Like, what if I could do this? What if I could make money? Like, they really want you to look at it through, is it rose-colored glasses? Like, they really want you to romanticize what your life could be. Like, I feel like the advice is to be very much in your head and be in the excitement and in the fire and the passion behind it, and then go from there. You know, make those plans from a place of excitement, having faith in your dreams, and just being really passionate about it. And I think, I feel like whatever it is, it's something that you've always kind of had on the back burner, that you're like, there's no way I can make money doing this. But they're telling me, go get Big Magic. Pick up that book, Big Magic. I feel like that's exactly, it's like a whole book of advice of what you need. And if anyone's going through the same stuff, Big Magic is basically like, how do I find what lights me up? How do I find what I'm passionate about and not let the fear get in my way? The fear of failing, the fear of, you know, being an imposter. Like I freaking love that book, Big Magic. Let's see. Erica donated a little bit more, so I'm just going to pull some more cards. Shut up. And I just pulled oh my gosh, okay. They're just confirming everything that I just said. So I pulled the goblin card, Erica, and this is like the fears under the bed, the goblins under the bed that are keeping you from moving. Ignore those. Ignore the fear. You know, the fear can be in the back seat, but they can't drive the car. And then this is all about finding your passion, finding your spark, which is exactly that wand energy that I was talking about. Like, go after what is lighting you up. Again, even if it's like, I don't know how I'm going to turn it into anything. I think the only confirmation, if you're like, I don't know if it's this or that, it's definitely something where you help other people, and in return, other people help you. There is a way to make money doing this. It might take a while, but you've got it. I have been definitely in the what if stage now. I think this is like total confirmation to follow that crazy dreamer passion. Like, sometimes people will be like, I want to do this. And you're, as a psychic, you're like, oh, don't, you're not going to make any money, or this is not going to be successful. But this is like almost the exact opposite for you. It's like, go after that thing that lights you up. All right, so Jeremy donated on TikTok after Erica. So thank you for your patience, Jeremy, especially because you can't like see any of these other comments. All right, so Jeremy asked, will we close on our home before the new year? I thought you already closed on it. Maybe I'm crazy. I'm going to pull a card, even though that's a yes or no question. But then I'll follow it up with how can we manifest it. I think so. I just pulled the 10 of Wands. You have to tell me if I'm right. The 10 of Wands is like completion. It's something being done with. This guy is sort of like, he's picking up all of his sticks and he's moving. Like, he's got all of his stuff and he's ready to move forward into the next chapter. It's a long and turbulent story, I'm sure. Okay, but I'm still going to ask what you can do to help manifest it. Because even though sometimes that's out of our control, we can still energetically sort of get into the space. Ooh, this is such a perfect card for this. Okay, so this card is the 7 of Pentacles. And the 7 of Pentacles, oh my gosh, this is so, okay. I want to pull. So, sorry, I'll describe this card. So I love this one because this guy is basically looking at his like bush of crops, and he's like, I don't know if you could really see it, but there's some dead crops and some alive. And he's kind of looking at it like, oh my gosh, this has been such a chore, which makes sense with, you're trying to close on your house and you're like, oh my gosh, this is such a headache. But this is ultimately saying that it's going to be like fruitful, especially because the 7 usually represents preparation. It literally says backstage preparation on my notes. And so to me, that's like all these things that need to kind of work themselves out in the background, and maybe you can't really see them, but they needed to like work themselves out before he could like harvest his crops, before you can close on that house. So I think as far as like how can you manifest this better, this is really just a message of understanding that it takes time for things to like pan out, to grow, to come to fruition. I'm still going to ask that same question. Is there anything else that you can do to help manifest it? And I don't feel like there's anything more you can actually do, is what the message is. Because I pulled nothing will come of this situation, but I don't actually think that's like saying you're not going to close. I think that's saying like nothing will come out of like trying to push it, basically. If anything, this is saying like have new ideas around like how you can take care of those practical concerns. Like, what's the fear there? Oh, I need, money more quickly, or I need a home, temporarily, or something like that. This is basically saying being open to fresh new ideas. So maybe you have to stay somewhere temporarily. Maybe, I don't quite know the whole situation, but this is saying, like, get creative on the offside or on the sides of, like, how can we manage, because Pentacles are all about, like, physical, like, literally practical concerns, material world, physical, like, roof over your head. So it's almost like you can't do anything more to push this along. Because I was kind of asking, like, oh, could you send a letter? Could you talk to these people? But I feel like just leaving it, you have to let it grow. You have to let it kind of manifest in its own time. But what you can do in the meantime is at least get creative on, fulfilling the other needs that you need. That's not coming quick enough with this. Just going to ask if there's anything else we're not seeing about this situation. Ooh, the worst has passed. Because this is the rock bottom card. And this to me says, and the rock bottom card always scares people. But it's actually saying you've already hit rock bottom. There's nowhere to go but up. So I think the worst of it is over. And it's only going to slowly improve from here. Gosh, I hope I'm right. I hope I'm right. Otherwise, Jeremy's going to call me in a month and be like, Lauryn, give me my $7 back. The only other thing that I'm getting is, like, clearing up the details, any details that you can clear up around it. Like, I think this is where the energy has been focused, is like, ooh, all the minutia of everything. And I think you guys have all been, like, stuck to that energy. Like, it's been really close to your face. And so if you can pull back and just kind of look at it as a whole and be like, okay, what's the big picture here? What's going on? Why is this not happening? And I feel like when you do that, you're actually going to realize we handled all of the little things. Like, there's nothing more. There's nothing more that we can do. If it's supposed to go through, it will go through. I still want to pull one more card. I'm asking what the question is that I should be asking. Okay, they're saying, like, how do you handle where you're at right now? Like, that's follow the leader. How you handle where you're at right now. I'm really seeing this as, like, deferring to the person in charge of all of this. Like, I don't know if that's, like, the realtor. I'm so bad at, like, real estate kind of things, but it's like, to me, this is deferring to them, kind of letting them give you the best advice, because I think they know what to do. And I feel like stirring the pot because of fear is not going to help. Because I don't feel like your energy of, like, either pushing or doing something more will actually help the situation. I feel like the energy is very much so, like, pull back and worry about the day-to-day while you wait. But again, going back to these cards, I feel like there is a completion. It's closing again with that rock bottom card. It's coming to an end. It's only going to get better from here. And sometimes it just takes a little bit of time for it to work out. Alrighty. Thank you, Jeremy. Good to see you. All right. Jumping back to YouTube. Thank you guys for being so patient with me. Yes, I think that's it, but we can practice clearing a picture and then we can read it for each other. Is that a thing? Yes, Janet. So you're basically asking, and that's what I want to do with I've been thinking about doing some in-person classes. I've already sent a resume off to a local store so I can do the same thing. And I want to do that online. The issue is when I tried to get that all together, it was like I couldn't get people to come. But I did do that on a monthly basis. I don't know. The issue that I'm having is, like, I can't fill the space. So you would show up, but getting other people to show up. And that's why I'm wondering if I need to make events like where I'm like, okay, tonight is tarot night, and I schedule it out months in advance. Or, hey, this night is automatic drawing night. I don't know. I have to head off now. Bye, everyone. Bye, Johnny. Thank you, Lauren. Oh, yes. Eureka got the member reading. I'm considering. You're welcome, Jeremy. Considering restarting therapy this month or next month as I feel lost as to who I am, what I truly want. Oh, I'm sorry, Eureka. Please give me spiritual guidance about this. I immediately got astrology for you. And I try not to bring astrology in, but I know I'm doing it all the time because I'm interested in it. But it almost feels like, and even if you don't believe in astrology, it feels like temporary energy clouding your judgment. Not saying you still can't do that and get help and get advice, but it does feel temporary. So at least there's some peace in that. I'm going to pull some more tarot. The only thing I don't have memorized with the tarot is actually now is the spreads. I know the cards, but now I'm like, oh, what spreads do I use? Okay, so I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to ask. And then, I'm sorry. Okay. It's interesting when I'm actually reading with these cards with other people, how they pop up to give me messages. I'm definitely learning about how this all works. Or I shouldn't say how this all works as much as how my guides will use tarot specifically to talk to me. Because my teacher told me, don't look at reversals, but I know they're giving me reversals because that's usually how I read. So right now, Eureka, reversal. Queen of Swords. I feel like this is the energy that you need that you're not stepping into. And this, I feel like, is pretty duh. But the Queen of Swords is somebody who's really on top of, again, their mental health. The mental, I think mental health, the swords can be about knowledge and analytical stuff, but I'm kind of feeling and it makes sense with what you're talking about, that it can be about the mental health, because you can have your heart and your intuition in something, but sometimes we can feel like we're really struggling mentally, and that could be because of some mental health disorder. It could be depression. It could be anxiety. And so to me, this is saying that this is where we want to be, but we're kind of not quite there yet. And what's required is a lot of that inner work. Now, I do think that that's kind of confirming what you're saying of yes, that inner work needs to be done. That could be with someone else. It could also be with yourself. But the first step right now is to kind of get out of viewing this whole situation as so scary, because right now you're viewing it as the devil. This whole thing is the ultimate scariness ever. And I think for you, Eureka, because aren't you a Pisces? It probably terrifies you when you feel like you don't know what you want or where to go. Honestly, I feel like that was my year this year. I'm just getting so much information now. Because they're talking to me about Saturn returns, and I'm like, is she going through a Saturn return? It feels like that same energy of cloud, and I'm more saying that because maybe go listen to that podcast about it and maybe you'd find some help there. But right now, how you're viewing this situation is you see this devil card and you're or you see the devil in this situation. You're seeing your loss and your kind of cloudiness as the devil, like it's scary. But the thing about this card that I love is that both of these people here that are supposedly chained up to the devil, the chains are actually really loose. Like they can take off these chains and walk away at any time. And that's what the whole devil card is about, is like the fear is up here, and really you can move away from the fear at all times. And so Eureka, I think right now your energy towards the situation is just pure like kind of chaos. Like you're scared, and so because of it, it's like these wands are up in the air. You don't know where they're going, you don't know how they're gonna fall. Like it's just kind of pure chaos. And that's kind of how you're addressing this situation, is you're just kind of all over the place, and the fear of it is just scaring you into feeling like you can't control it. So honestly, I would ask yourself, what do you feel most comfortable with? Do you does hearing that give you enough peace of mind that you feel like you can do some self-care things and you kind of feel better about it? Or, does having that outside help with mental health actually help you to feel more in control? And I'll just throw this out there. I think the book called How to Do the Work, I don't think it'll solve all the problems, but that book is supposed to kind of be like a therapist in a book, is what I've heard. I've started it, I haven't finished it, and I think it's fantastic. But again, I don't think that's enough for some people sometimes. So I know this reading is basically just confirming kind of what you said, but I do think the aspect here is like, just remember that your fear is amplifying it. I did get meditate and contemplate. So maybe just meditate on the idea of going to therapy and see how you feel about it. And it's funny too, because this is new moon in Pisces. Gosh, it almost feels like something specific to astrology, which I'm going to keep that out of my readings because that's not what everyone believes. When I meditated on this deity, I did see a lot of associations. I saw a blue comet hitting the earth. Ooh, interesting. All right. Sorry, guys. All right. Okay. Who do we have? We have Jenna, and then we have PM. And I'm just going to take a moment here to catch up on the chat. And then we'll go back to Jenna. I've been definitely feeling those thoughts as a law firm, and I keep getting insecure that I will get fired because I don't know a lot, and it's a lot of learning. Awesome. Yeah, and I think, Elena, in those situations, the best you can do is show that you're trying and that you're learning. The worst thing you can do is be lazy and not, care about it. And I think they see that usually. Hey, everyone on TikTok. I am also live on YouTube, so follow me there. Let's see. Hey, Ashley, I don't know if you're still in here. So what I do is we do donations first, and then if I catch up on donations, then we do kind of free guessing game readings. Okay, I hear a cat. Oh, there's no cat in here. What was she hearing? I'm working on a couple of new things. Interesting, Alley Cat. Well, sorry, Alley Cat, and sorry, Julie. I think what's supposed to get through will still get through, even if I just mess up the names. All right, I've definitely been, thanks, it's been tough to reconnect. Software development. Interesting, Erica. I don't know if Erica's still in here, but I would not stick you in software development. That doesn't feel right. I saw you more as teaching people or doing something online. I would say a good soul searching book. I like Letters to a Starseed or Light is the New Black, if either of those resonate. All right, that's Gianna's question. I feel like you're talking about me and I'm Pisces. Well, Amber, that absolutely can happen. So, and Amber, feel like you're somebody else. Aren't you? You go by the other name. You're my coaching client, aren't you? Anyway, Amber, the great thing about group reading nights is like I feel like because Spirit knows so many people are tuning in and watching, they will get messages out to multiple of you at once. So if you feel like it resonates, take it. And I used to say that at the beginning of my streams, but I just felt like it got so redundant that I stopped saying that. So absolutely, if you resonate with anything that anybody else receives, take it. Take it. You're going through your first Saturn return. Shut up. Okay. I was like, it feels very temporary. And Yurika, one thing I didn't say was I feel like this specifically is going to disappear in like a month. Like I feel like it's going to be gone by the end of the year. My Saturn return is in the 12th house. House of fears and subconscious. Oh my goodness. You'll tell me, if you remember and if you care to, I'd be very curious to see how that like turns out for you with that house. Maybe you could like make a YouTube video on it or something, because I'd be very interested to see how it like manifests for you, especially being a Pisces. Like, let me know. I'm very interested. I don't know if you remember me. I remember some of you guys by your like names and like little images. You're welcome, Eureka. Full glass of water, y'all, and a cup of spearmint tea. Heck yeah, silly rabbit. All right. That could also be the therapist in me. All right, I'm jumping back up to Jana. Sorry, Jana. 55,900. I remember the first time, Jana, that you popped in here. I think you were one of the first people that had like a different currency, and I read it as like $5,900, and I was like, what? And then I was like, oh wait, that's not US. That's how I remembered you, was trying to figure out what currency that was, and then you said, oh, I'm in this place, and now I remember. Okay. So Jana's question, where did it go? Does my grandpa Finch have anything to say to me? Was this the one you lost recently? Also, I'm curious about the voice that came through on my recording. Gosh, yeah. So we have a Facebook group, and in that Facebook group, we practice. We do weekly practice games. We also just like ask questions and chat with each other. And a lot of you guys have been sharing like experiences, or heck, I mean, Janet even like made her own tarot cards, which were super cool. And so it's just a great place to ask questions, connect with everybody outside of YouTube. What was I going to say? But Janet shared this creepy video. She was like recording something else, and then this voice came in, and I was like, whoa, what is that? That is weird. But let's start with Grandpa Finch. Sorry. Because I purposely don't tune into that stuff, in that group, because I'm not always like ready to go for a reading, and I don't want to read everything, but I kind of wanted to. Grandpa Finch. First thing that's coming through is he's giving me advice about when to wrap up, because he knows I'm getting a little worn out. I'm not yet, but he's like, you're going to get there, so remember to cap it off. So thank you, Grandpa Finch. But what about Jana? He's coming through with like relationship advice. Like I don't know if things have been tough. I hope this isn't too personal, but he's coming through with like this image of your relationship and kind of how you view it, of like so many ups and downs. And I feel like you kind of look at it like, what's wrong with my relationship? Why are there so many ups and downs? It should be always up. It should always be good. You know what I mean? Sorry. Hey, everyone on TikTok. I am reading some people also on YouTube. So welcome. If you want to follow me on YouTube, feel free to ask questions for donations. And we will probably do one guessing game for a free reading here once I catch up. But he's like very much saying like your view on the relationship is part of the problem, because I feel like you have this idealized view that your relationship should be good all the time. He's also telling me like you might have already come to the realization that it's not like fair to like put that on your partner. And this is very specific, but he's like saying that your partner doesn't have to meet all of your needs. Like I feel like you might put that on him a little too much sometimes, like he's got to make me happy in all these different areas of my life. And it feels kind of like the advice here is take care of you, don't put so much on him, and then you're going to be happier with your relationship. When thinking about my grandpa Fitch, when I see 7:16 on the clock, which is like every day. That's interesting. No, it's my grandpa who passed when I was a little girl. 7:16. That's interesting. What was I gonna say? Sorry, I got distracted. Let me jump over now. I feel like he was just kind of giving you relationship stuff. And if any of that resonates, I found someone recently on TikTok and Instagram, and her name is the Anxious Love Coach. And she has podcasts, and I just found her so unbelievably helpful. I cannot stop like recommending her. So if any of that resonates with you, maybe look her up. As far as the voice, it's so weird because my first gut feeling was what I said in the group of like maybe there was something on your app, like, or something on your phone that accidentally played. Like, you know, sometimes you'll pull open your phone and it'll just start talking and you realize you've left an app open and something is like playing like an ad. But it's so clear and so specific that like my analytical mind like is just like, how would that work? So I'm gonna pull a card. What card do I want to pull? And now that I'm thinking of it, when I first heard the voice, it did sound male. Oh my gosh. Okay. Wow. So I just pulled the Spirit of Place card. This is definitely a spirit attached. I just like, as soon as I saw the card, I think it gave me the trust and the intuition to confirm that it was a spirit. Spirit of Place is somebody maybe attached to the area, maybe attached to like you in some sort of way. I do have a video on like how spirits can attach to us, because sometimes you're in an apartment and you might pick up on spirit, but it might not be anything to do with you. It might be something to do with your neighbors. Or it could be like the land, or, you know, something that happened there ages and ages ago, or it could be your ancestor or your neighbor's ancestor, something like that. Definitely something attached to that area. And you're thinking it could be a war veteran. I mean, honestly, Jana, I say if that's your gut feeling, like, who am I to question it? Because the voice didn't sound familiar. And it was so clear and so bizarre. Like, I've never seen anything like that before. You guys will have to jump into the group just to see what we're talking about. I'm putting on my jacket because it's getting a little chilly in here. I don't think it's your grandpa, though. It feels like a random spirit. Yeah, because I'm tuning into the spirit itself. Like I'm saying, hey, that energy, who are you? And they're definitely giving me like, yeah, I'm a person. but nothing like super noteworthy. Like he sort of feels like a kind of like a pass, like a drive by, like a hey, like he was bringing attention to himself, and then he kind of left. But I think because you've been thinking about him and we've all been talking about him on the group, it sort of called him back in. So if he's still there and you don't want him there, maybe let him go. Honestly, it feels like he passed so long ago that he almost feels neutral in energy, which is really interesting to me. It's almost like he's so disattached from who he was in this life, like that he's like, oh, that information is not important. And he's not, because I was asking if he was like a bad spirit or a good spirit, and he wasn't really giving me either. It's almost like he was just like a shadow of like who he was. And you just happen to like intersect at the same time is kind of like what it feels like. It's weird. I'm curious to know what your gut says, Jana, or if anybody else who's seen her video, like what you guys think. You can also jump in the group and let us know. So I have clairaudience or no? I'm not sure what you mean, Amber. Sorry. I was just saying that if you feel like somebody else's reading is for you, it might be. Absolutely. Oh, hell no, Lauren. No like attachments. Well, that's what I teach in that video, is you can get rid of them. Like, why did they talk through my video? Let me ask him really quick. Wait, was there somebody else I needed to read? I feel like yes. Okay, PM, I'm coming back up to you. I think side note, what I'm going to do, I'm going to read PM on YouTube here. And then I am going to, I'll do one free guessing game because it's already kind of getting late. And then we'll probably stop it after that. So let me just ask him why he was talking through the video. I think I'm struggling with this because I'm still so skeptical. I know I'm a psychic, but I'm super freaking skeptical, especially if things like recorded, because I'm a filmmaker, because I'm a photographer. I'm just like, I don't know. So my bias is definitely getting in the way right now. I will say that. He's just showing it to me as like an open entry. Like it was like the easiest way to communicate. He knew it would work, sort of thing. Whereas like if you were talking to you and clairaudience was like an option, maybe your clairaudience isn't that good. And there's something about you being hyper focused on the video and, you know, you recording the person that you were recording. You were so hyper focused on it that it was almost like there's no room for any guesswork. You know, he really wanted to get somebody's attention, and you can't be like, because it was filmed in a bathroom, you can't be like, oh, well, there was somebody else here. You know, it's almost like it was the perfect way to kind of insert himself, if that makes sense. And like, he's literally showing me like your phone and kind of like this like funnel that goes towards your phone, and him kind of getting sucked into it. And like, not that he literally did, but like, it's almost like an invitation and entry for him to maybe say something. It has me very confused because although that's what he's saying, like, I feel like you can't pick things up electronically. Like, as much as I love my paranormal investigator friends out there, I'm also like, you know? But that's why I love doing this work, and that's why I love being online with you guys and meeting you all, is because I think you always have to stay open. You always have to stay open to the fact that you could be wrong. And that's one thing I say, is that you got to be skeptical. You got to be skeptical. You got to be open and willing to being wrong. All right, let me jump back up to PM really quick. PM, thank you for being patient. My daughter, Letty, would like a general reading, please. Woohoo! So we will read PM, and then we will do a free guessing game reading, and then we will wrap it up for tonight. Thank you guys all for being here tonight. Again, I will probably go live next week, even though it's not on my schedule, just because I miss you guys. And I've been taking care of myself so much better. I've been giving myself more sleep and more time. And it's like, oh, I have more energy now. I can do readings. It's wonderful. Ooh, okay. So this is for a PM. This is for Letty. So I just sort of asked about, okay, anything we need to know. And as I pulled cards, I feel like they're actually talking about the rest of the year for Letty. And I did this 3-card pull where the first card is basically what's kind of the overall energy that's coming in. And then the second card is, what was the second card? It's, how it's going to manifest in you. And then the last card is sort of like, how can you handle it? How can you go day to day and deal with it? So the first card that I got, High Priestess, we pulled this earlier. The High Priestess is again about her connecting to her intuition. So for the rest of this year, it's very important for her to connect to her intuition, listening to her dreams even. It's kind of that unconscious, subconscious self. And so maybe she's not really tuned into that. Maybe she's not really paying attention to it. I feel like she's fairly new to this, so dreams might just be a fun way for her to start paying attention. But her guides are trying to like introduce themselves, honestly, and communicate with her. And they just want her to pay attention. And how this is going to manifest is definitely, I feel like there's going to be some high emotions kind of coming around in December. Maybe not high emotions, but this guy, I love this image of this guy because he's sitting around, he's got all these cups around him, and he's so happy. He feels complete. He feels like he's got everything he needs, but he's not quite there yet. There's kind of this energy of like, I could have a little bit more. I'm almost there. I'm not quite there yet. And so kind of tapping into her intuition will definitely help her through this. And the last card, which is sort of how can she handle this day to day, she really needs to tap into her own strength. Like maybe she doubts her ability. Maybe she doubts that she's intuitive. Maybe she doubts that she can handle all of these emotions, all of these, stresses. This could be both a bad or a good card, and just like all the emotions, all the cups that you have in your life. You can be the master of it, or you can sort of be overwhelmed by it. And this is basically saying, hey, you've got the strength to handle it. You can do it. You just have to trust your intuition more, trust your heart a little bit more. I feel like she trusts her more mental analytical side over her intuition. Let's see, anything else for Letty? Oh, interesting. So I got communication is key, but I actually feel like this is communication with her higher power, whatever she believes in, God, universe, spirit guides. I feel like because I pulled this in reverse, and to me, she's just not necessarily communicating with them very well. And I feel like she's going through life not understanding how much help she has, how much strength she has, and how basically all she needs to do is tap into this intuition and connect with her guides, that higher power. And it's almost like, oh, the answers are all there. Let's see. Anything else that Letty needs to know? Honestly, I feel like Letty is just like sort of, she's starting to understand some of these big learning lessons that like a lot of us are learning, like about the law of attraction and manifestation. Because I pulled this card also in reverse, which to me says like she's sort of learning that, oh, my thoughts create my reality. And so if I'm constantly in the negative, it's going to attract more negative. But then also thinking about, oh, well, if I want something, all I have to do is kind of positively manifest it. And I feel like, and I'm sorry if I'm wrong, but it just feels like her energy is very new and fresh to this. And her guides want to kind of show her and be like, hey, you are a master manifester. You are strong. You're amazing. You can connect to your intuition. You can handle anything that's thrown at you. But it all starts with your intuition and opening up to that guidance. And even if that guidance is coming from her higher self, if she doesn't feel like she resonates with like the more metaphysical new age view, you know, of like what all this looks like. Gosh. I feel like at the core of it, like stepping back, her guides are kind of like, Mom, if you can give her any resources on any of this stuff, point her in the right direction. She kind of just needs like a precursor to all of it, is what it feels like. Awesome. Thank you, PM. Thank you for being so patient. Meditate. Oh, where is this? Hello, Angel. I'm doing good. I'm about to wrap it up. I'm going to do a guessing game reading here in a second. Let's see. Should I be worried? I mean, I have had some crazy things. Nah. I like what I was feeling like he was originally just kind of doing this like drive-by of like, oh, hey, I'm here. And then like, bye. Sorry, I'm getting these weird ass TikTok notifications and I don't know what they mean. What is that? There's like way too many buttons and pictures and things on TikTok. It's complicated. Anyway, but yeah, no, it feels more like a drive-by thing. And the only thing that might be keeping his energy around is that we keep talking about it. So you could just be like, thank you for the message. You can leave now. You're not allowed in this house anymore. So if you feel like you need to kind of do like a protection thing, absolutely. But again, that's why I was asking if he was good or bad, because I wanted to know, like, do we need to be worried about him? But his energy felt so old and so neutral that it feels like he doesn't exist on this physical plane very much anymore. So honestly, not something I would worry about very much at all. Thank you, Yurika. Yurika's got me covered. Where's my chapstick? I don't know what I did with my chips. Oh, here it is. Ooh, that's a good rule of thumb, Silly Rabbit, just to protect yourself. Wait, is Silly Rabbit leaving? All right. You're welcome, PM. All right, let's do one guessing game reading. So both people or both platforms, TikTok or YouTube, I'll try to watch you both at the same time. I am going to think of... I'm going to... I can't do them too easy sometimes. What do I have written down? Okay, I'm thinking of a fruit, and if you can guess the fruit that I'm thinking of, then you get the next reading. And that's kind of how we do our guessing game readings around here. I'm like watching both. I don't think anyone on TikTok is going to participate. I think they're just going to watch me. What is this? I'm thinking of a fruit. If you can guess the fruit that I'm thinking of, then you get the reading. Nobody's gotten it yet. Just going to double check. I don't think anyone's gotten it. Think of a fruit. Fruit. Tomato. Jana's going to throw out tomato in case I'm dumb like last time. I was like, what's a vegetable? And I said tomato, and everyone's like, no, Lauryn, tomatoes are fruit. Oh, I felt so dumb. This was, I think, the first fruit that I ever gave my son, and he loved it. Oh my gosh, he loved it. Mango! Yurika, you got it. Alrighty. Yurika, do you have another question? I know you already had a reading. Totally okay if you have one again. But let me know your question. And thank you guys all for joining me. I think this will be the last reading of tonight, but I will be live again next Tuesday. And then the following Tuesday. And again, the Tuesday, I think it's like the week of Christmas. We're gonna do something with like the new year and manifesting and oh my gosh, the most obvious fruit. Why didn't we bypass mango? I know, I was like, maybe I missed it. Oh, I know, mangoes are so good. It was like I said, the first vegetable I gave my son was an avocado, and then the first fruit I gave him was mango, and I made it pureed when he was a baby. Oh, he loved it. He loved it. My son can now say cookie, and it is the most adorable thing in the world. He's like, cookie! And so now I have to give him cookies. I like dried mango. Okay, so Yurika wants a message from Spirit. Hey, Nicole! Nobody's watching me on TikTok, but everyone's watching me on YouTube. I don't know how TikTok works, so I wanted to jump on it. I can put a wish list on my TikTok. Okay, my son gagged on avocado. Oh my gosh, my son loved it. Okay, so Yurika. Jen, not cute. All right. Okay. There's too many messages that are saying ask a question. Okay. They're telling me to ask kind of like the energy moving into the new year. Maybe that's helpful for you to know right now. Okay. So, 10 of Wands. You okay? Okay, so 10 of Wands, Yurika, message from Spirit. So they told me like the energy towards the start of the year. And it's interesting kind of just like with what, and I think that was because I was picking up on like this energy that you're going through right now might get a little bit clearer at the end of the year. They're also telling me if you need the mantra, oh shit, what was it? The teacher that I went to for a candle magic class, she actually told us like sometimes you don't even have to know what you're looking for. You can just ask for more clarity on a certain subject. And so I don't think it's a mantra as much as like you can just ask for clarity on anything, on my mental health, on feeling lost. I need more clarity on this situation. And sometimes that can be such a basic and such an open-ended kind of ask from our guides that it really lets them steer us in the direction versus just like sometimes when we think we know what the answer is like, oh, well, I just need to go work out more or something like that. And therefore, you kind of narrow it down and you're not open to all the other possibilities that it could be. Anyway, so I kind of feel like the energy for the new year is you're kind of going to get a handle on what you should be doing, Yurika, because this is you gathering up all the things that you need to do. Like the energy behind this card is this guy's like, all right, let's get to work. And the energy of like, I've got all the stuff that I need and I'm going to move and start taking action. So I think this is coming through because they wanted you to know, like, this is the shift that's going to come through. And then it's going to be followed by kind of almost like this mundane, practical, hard work. So the Pentacles is just like physical concerns, stuff on this earthly realm that we have to be worried about. And I love this card because there's an image of this guy and he's making these pentacles. And this is kind of like the mundane work of like, okay, I know I've got to make 8 of these pentacles It's going to take some time. And this is about that moment where you're like, you're making it and it feels like, time is going so slowly, but you're putting in the work and there will be an end to it. It's kind of like there will be an end. He will have it all done. But it's like the work that's boring, that is very repetitive, especially with planting pentacle seeds. And so the energy of like you gathering this up, like I feel like this is you gathering up these ideas of like, all right, this is what I need to do. This is kind of what I'm fired up about. I feel like this is about multiple things in your life, like partly career. I'm also hearing like living, just like you have all these ideas and you're like, all right, I need to do something with this. And then it's kind of like the boring work of like making them actually happen. So maybe you have to work for a little bit to manifest some of these ideas. And I kind of asked, like, how can you work with this energy? And this is basically saying you're going to have a lot of options in front of you. This is the 8 of Cups, and we have 2 8s in here, which is all about strength, inner resources. And so this card it's like, look at this guy and look at all of these cups that he has. He's like, oh, I could go this direction. I could choose that cup. I could choose this cup. This is how I basically memorize these, is like memorizing the story that the picture is told, which is very helpful for me, at least with tarot, because I'm so visual. And so this is basically saying you might get overwhelmed at some point with how much options that you might have in front of you. But this is all about just choosing something, because again, with this card, it's like you have so many things on your plate. Just start picking some and then working with them. And understanding that they might not just like come to fruition overnight. You might have to kind of put in the boring, mundane work, but that doesn't mean there won't be an end to it. Any last cards for Yurka about this? Ooh, and then what do you need to release? I feel like this is more an intention that you need to just think about between now and the new year. Like what energy do you want to release and say, you know what, I don't want any more of that moving into next year. Alrighty. Why is my heater not working? Brr! I'm in my shed and it's getting colder and colder here in Colorado. Hello, Kelly. Yes, I'm sorry, 007. I am like done for tonight. I've been on for like, how long have I been on for? Oh my gosh, 2.5 hours. So I'm going to wrap up for tonight. However, if you subscribe, turn on those notifications, I will be live again next Tuesday and the following Tuesday. If you ever forget, you can always go onto my website and check out the events page, which is also in the description down below. Alrighty, guys, I'm just going to end my TikTok so I can get my phone out of my way. But I'm just going to hang out, decompress a little bit. That's kind of what I do at the end of all my live nights. So make sure you're following me on Facebook, Instagram. And this week's video, I'm almost done editing it, is clairsentience. So the next Claire we've got coming up, kind of my newly refreshed Claire videos. And I'm so glad I did it, because those old Claire videos are just like horrendous. And those are still like some of my top performing videos. Like that's how people find me. And I'm like, no, I need to update this. Because basically people find me through those videos and then they come to the rest of these and they're like, what? There's so much more information elsewhere. So we're going to get all the information about clairsentience. I'm going to talk about empaths a little bit. And then what's next week's video? I don't remember, but I am going to record a pick a card reading for the new year. And I think I'm going to do this really complex spread, which is called like the Wheel of the Year. And basically you have a major arcana card for each month of the new year. And I'm thinking about doing it that way. I just don't know how to turn it into a pick a card reading. Because if I did like 3 or 4 of those, it would probably be such a long video, so long. So I'm kind of wondering if I do majors and just do one big circle, but then have like little separate groups. Like, okay, this is January, but here's group 1, group 2, group 3, a little bit more specific. I don't know. I need to record it soon too. Freezing here too. Yeah, it's probably, you probably get way more extreme weather up there, don't you? Of course, Yurka. I wish we could all have a holiday party. That would be fun. It's holiday party season at work. Yeah, see, I don't get that because I work for myself, so I don't get holiday parties. I don't celebrate enough because I'm self-employed. You're welcome, Jenna. Yes, it is not on the website. My plan is to get it on there. I don't know if I will. We'll see. Yes, Claire sentence. Which one would you guys want to see after that? Because they're going to take a little bit. I think I have Claire audience, Claire cognizance, and then Claire aliens and goose. I'm going to put aliens and goostance in one video. But let me know which one you want to see after that. I wish we could all see each other on these lives. I agree. And that's what I thought about doing, kind of those like Zoom group calls. But again, like nobody signed up for them, so it didn't work. But you guys have been requesting it so much, and I've been thinking about it. It makes me wonder if there's like a way that I could pre-schedule it. And I think it's because I saw somebody else do it. Like I'm a Patreon member for Chloe Taylor, and she's doing like a new moon intention night, and she's going live. She's doing it through YouTube, so it's kind of like, you know, it's similar to what I'm doing here, but like I'm thinking a lot about just trying something different, like with the either having like a webinar for the tarot course, or maybe just doing a webinar of like a practice night. I don't know. You guys will have to leave me the feedback, because really I don't take a whole lot of action on it unless I have a lot of people being like, yes, do it. And then Yurka, please, could you do a Zoom party one day? What would I theme it around? I'll definitely think about it, because I'd love to actually see some of your faces. The only thing is I have to make it so that not everybody could join. And I don't mean that in like a mean, like exclusive way, but you know, you don't want a bunch of trolls coming in. So like, how do we filter that out? You know what I mean? I'm sorry, Silly Rabbit. It's my first one because of the new job. Zoom party. It makes me wonder, is this time best for you all then? I wonder if I just do like maybe a paid event, even if it's like $5 per person, like maybe the equivalent of the new intention setting year, and maybe we are actually like seeing each other, and then we could like do some sort of like ritual or intention setting thing with each other. I'll think about it. Because I want to do that too. And that was part of the reason why I reached out to a local store, was because I wanted to do it. But I know that only people in my area will be able to take advantage of that. And I really want to do something. I think I got down on myself when I tried to do it with kind of like the monthly. I tried to do like a monthly psychic development group. But again, like nobody showed up. So it was like kind of a waste of my time and everyone else's time. But yeah, you're good, Jen. We're close to each other. One day I'm definitely going to come back to Japan, and at least maybe Jana and Yurika and I can all get together, because, gosh, I love Japan, and Korea's on my list. Paid event, don't make it free, set the price. Yeah. Well, then, would you guys like a New Year thing, or would you like it to be more of like a learning experience, or more like a hangout? I fly to Japan. Kelly's like, don't exclude me. Yeah. My dream goal is that one day I'll be able to fly around and, you know, go on vacations, but at the same time, like, I'll be like, okay, I'm going to be stopping here. Come meet me at this coffee shop. Let's all hang out, you know? It's like dream goals one day. I'm just like thinking about this, because like, again, these ideas are coming to me because I know I needed to do something different next year. And I know I am going to update, like, obviously my main video course. That's like one of my huge things. But I want to be more in person with people because I just need that more as a coach. Like doing so much online, just it feels impersonal and I forget to teach things. And like it's great to have feedback from people in person also because they'll be like, oh, this question. And then it'll be like, oh, duh, a lot of people have that question. That should be a part of my course. But I've been lost between, do I make it like a webinar where you learn something or like a kind of like a hangout or a practice night? Or maybe it's just like a one-time, kind of like the best I can think of is like what Chloe's doing, which is like a new moon thing. But I feel like I couldn't speak to that super well. Maybe I'll go do a journey on it. I'll go do a journey on it and ask my guides. Let's go to an amusement park in Japan. Yes. All three? Maybe do a hangout first and then develop from there. That's a good point. Yeah. Well, and that's what I mean is like, I think I was only charging $5 a person for the group practice nights. And it was like an hour and a half where we would just go through several psychic exercises. And I probably didn't give it enough time to like come to fruition, but learning everything, hangout, chatty, everything. I like Kelly's suggestion. All right. Hi, Shabu. I'm sorry. I'm done for the night. I'm just kind of like wrapping up here, but I will be live again next Tuesday. If you want to subscribe and catch me next time, I apologize. Kind of trying to decompress. That's all. Oh, that's pretty impressive. I felt like after spending 2.5 weeks in Japan, I started to get a hang of some of it. You guys can also reach out to me for a reading online also, anytime. It's so long. What am I doing? I like Kelly's suggestion. All right. Thank you. Okay. I'll think about it some more. And where would I announce it? I'd probably talk about it next Tuesday. And then besides that, yeah, maybe in the group or maybe, I don't know. I'll think about it. If you guys have any more ideas, I mean, shoot me an Instagram message as well. I think I've tried it so many ways and it's like failed and I've always been like, what do I do? Because I think the practice night really, I don't think people want to practice as much as they want to just like hang out. Which makes sense because that's like how I am with the Patreon with Chloe is like, I just want to hang out. I want to chat with her because she's like so knowledgeable. And I'm like, cool. Well, I'll definitely think about it. Thank you guys for pushing me on it. So new video up Friday and then we will be live next Tuesday. And again, if you hadn't answered this question at the beginning, for these nights specifically, do you guys like just jumping straight into readings or would you guys also like me to talk about subjects, doing a little bit of both maybe? Or just let me know. I mean, it would be like a brief like teaching something, but it's hard to know how many people like the teaching and how many people just like the readings. And then, yeah, the final live, which we will do of this month, we're going to do something about the intentions kind of going into next year, especially because we have got a really powerful new moon coming. I don't know if it's a new moon or a full moon, but a really good one, like literally January 2nd. So I want you guys to be like prepared if you want to do anything. You don't have to. So I want you guys to have something fun or at least have thought about it ahead of time before it comes by. And there will be more lives in January. I haven't added them to my schedule. I think it's on my to-do list. I have like just a ton of things to do usually around this time of the year because of family. But yeah, guys, I think that's it. Sounds great. Let's hang out. Alrighty, you guys, I'm going to jump off. Have a fantastic rest of your nights, mornings, days. Thank you guys for being here and spending your time with me on Tuesday nights. It means a lot to me because I know you guys don't have to be here. All right, guys, feel free to reach out to me. Make sure you're following me on Instagram because I'll probably be doing some more tarot practice on my stories. And I will see you soon. Good night, everybody. Bye.